You've made no secret that you don't love it when a guy doesn't want to fight his teammate. And Merab is clear that he will not fight Aljamain Sterling and he'll wait until Aljo moves up. So what do you do with him, right? Because you don't necessarily want to put him against other contenders, knock off other contenders before they can fight for the title. So what do you do with Merab?
It's so funny you say that because I don't remember who the hell I was talking to the other day about this. And I was like, yeah, we don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. Back in the early days, the camps were so small. You didn't have a lot of different options. So we had a lot of these guys saying, oh, he's my friend, he's my friend. You can still be friends and want what your friend has. You know what I mean? It would be a really bad idea for Merab to go down that path.
Is there a point where you sort of say, right, that's enough, you have a decision to make, or you have to move divisions, or what do you do with him?
Yeah, so does Merab want a shot at the title, or would Merab rather have people under him jump over him and him have to take on all these different tough guys when he's not even getting a title shot when he's next in line for it? That's a personal decision that he needs to make. If that's what he wants to do, I can tell you how that story ends. It's not a good ending to that story, but he's a big boy. He can figure that out on his own.
That was me and Kane back in the day. Ultimately, that's why I went to 205, because I just don't know what options these guys are going to have, especially if Merab keeps winning, because it doesn't seem like anyone's a bad matchup for him because of his fighting style.
So, dear Dana White, I'm over here watching the number 2 and number 3 contender, and I tell you what, I got a feeling that Al Gislame is more likely going to kind of back out of this fight, right, Kiki? So that being said, why don't you give me Merab? Why don't you give me Merab? Since Sean O'Malley wants to wait, he wants to take his time. Why don't we make Merab the backup at UFC 288? Why don't we do it that way? That way, both these training partners, because I have a feeling that Aljo is going to eventually back out. But I want to make sure, because it's going to be the same game plan for both of these chumps. Wrestle, strike, every time they throw something heavy, they're going in for takedowns. Anyways, Dana White, if you're listening to me, let's have Merab as a backup. Newark, New Jersey, UFC 288. Because I want both. If I can fight both of them the same night, they can both get it. I'm out.
When do you think your next fight will be announced? We'll find out this weekend. The welterweight title is on the line. I don't think anybody's earned it but me. I'm on an 8-fight winning streak. I'm the only one fighting contenders. So I'm the one who deserves it. But we'll see where the UFC takes it. I think Usman wins. We're next in line for the belt, inshallah. Above me is, I'm 4. Khamzat's 3, he's going to middleweight. Kobe's 2, he's not fighting nobody. And Usman's 1. So I'm the number 1 contender. We get a Usman win. We'll see what happens with that. I understand why they did a rematch with Usman and Leon. Usman was a long reigning champion, and he deserved the rematch after the fight ended like that, but I guess we'll find out after this one, because there's nobody that deserves it now but me. There's nobody out here that can't do another rematch. This is a trilogy. You can't do a trilogy rematch. So we'll see what happens after this Saturday.
continuing my range of motion exercises. You can see here how the external rotation is just not working. I can pinch the scaps, but I can't rotate my hand up the same. You can tell my left arm is not working. My left arm is the untatted arm. It is not working the same. I can't get the hand up the mat the same way. Here are some Ys. Just getting that rear delt and that scap to move. Again, continuing the range of motion while it's continuously firing on me. Here's an example of what my muscles are doing in the back with that stim machine on and working on a continuous frequency of 500. Here's where I'm getting that, trying to get that external rotation back, really trying to get that infrasmedius to fire, trying to get that nerve to regenerate so that I could be a functional human being again. Here I'm just doing some circles, some stability muscles while that stim machine is firing. Makes it very difficult. It's like I'm holding a 20-pound weight is what it feels like with that stim machine going. Here I'm doing some isometric holds from external rotation, pushing that ball against the wall. This is a 5-second on, 2-second off of the contraction. So while it's contracting, I'm pushing outwards and then releasing it. Here's an external rotation, isometric hold again too with the resistance band. As I walk away, it makes it harder to hold it. As you can tell, my shoulder is complete garbage and my posture was bad. Here is the best example of my external rotation. Can't really quite do it. Press it up. So those are the strengthening exercises that I was doing for my infrasmedius after range of motion.
Do you think that history will get it right? Do you think history will remember this as like, oh, Francis walked away from this fight because he couldn't get a contract that he wanted? Or do you think that over time, the story will be, you know, what Jon is saying is that like, oh, he ran from me. He didn't want this fight. He never wanted this fight. How do you think people remember it?
We know Jon Jones with his drama, you know. I think he's just been dramatic. He's been out for how long? 3 years and something? And I've been calling him. I remember even after I fought Stipe, Dana said he should, if it's him watching that fight, he should move down to 185. You know, but I don't take that seriously. You know, the only reason, there is not a fight on earth that I will back down for. I don't care. I go there and whatever happened. It's the sport. And definitely Jon Jones is not the guy. I mean, he might be the best fighter ever, but he's not the guy that I'm running away from. Nah, not him. I'll fight Jon Jones twice a month.
Merab rather have people under him jump over him and him have to take on all these different tough guys when he's not even getting a title shot when he's next in line for it. That's a personal decision that he needs to make. If that's what he wants to do, I can tell you how that story ends. It's not a good ending to that story, but he's a big boy. He can figure that out on his own.
Several months later.
There's a little snake in the grass right there.